Picture the last time you felt watched. Not a person, not a sound, just a feeling. A prickling at the back of your neck. A sudden awareness of the darkness at the edge of your vision. Your body went alert before your mind knew why. That feeling is not anxiety. It is not paranoia. It is a message from 2 million years ago. And the creature that sent it is the reason you are still alive today. The most terrifying predator humans ever faced was not a mammoth. It was not a cave bear. It was not even another human. It was a cat. Specifically, it was the leopard. And for a stretch of time so vast it makes all of recorded history look like a footnote, the leopard was the single greatest cause of human death on the planet. This is not a guess. This is written in bone. In 1924, anthropologist Raymond Dart discovered a fossilized skull of a child at a site called Taung in South Africa. The skull belonged to a young Australopithecus africanus, one of our earliest known ancestors, approximately 3 years old at time of death. For decades, researchers assumed the child had died of natural causes. Then, in 2006, paleoanthropologist Lee Berger and his colleague Ron Clark re-examined the skull under high magnification. What they found changed everything. The eye sockets of the Taung child bore a precise pattern of puncture marks. 2 holes, perfectly spaced, perfectly sized, perfectly positioned. The marks were not from another primate. They were not from a crocodile or a hyena. They matched exactly the talon strike of a large eagle. But that was not all. The base of the skull showed additional damage consistent with a leopard carry. The child had likely been taken by an eagle, or carried by a leopard, or both. The fossil record confirmed what researchers had long suspected. Our ancestors were not apex predators. They were prey, and the leopard was the primary hunter. To understand how terrifying this was, you have to understand how a leopard hunts. It does not chase. It does not exhaust its prey over long distances the way wolves do. It waits. It watches. It moves in absolute silence through terrain that offers no warning. It can close the distance between itself and its target in under a second. It kills with a single bite to the back of the skull, severing the spinal cord before the prey has time to react. And then it does something that separates it from almost every other large predator on Earth. It carries its kill into a tree. This is where the bone record becomes a horror story. Researchers studying fossil deposits at sites across South Africa, at Swartkrans, at Sterkfontein, at Drimolen, have found early hominin remains mixed in with the prey bones of leopards. These bones bear the unmistakable signature of leopard predation. Puncture marks from canine teeth, drag marks, evidence of the prey being carried and cached in trees, out of reach of scavengers on the ground. Our ancestors were being systematically hunted, killed, hauled into trees, and consumed at leisure. The leopard did not eat them and move on. It stored them, like groceries, for generations, for hundreds of thousands of years. Paleoanthropologist C.K. Brain, who spent decades excavating the Swartkrans cave in South Africa, documented this relationship in extraordinary detail. His work showed that a significant proportion of the hominin fossils found at these sites bore leopard kill marks. He estimated that early hominins were a regular dietary component of leopard predation in southern Africa for a period spanning hundreds of thousands of years. Brain called this the predator-prey relationship that shaped human evolution. Not a side story, the main story. Think about what this means. Your ancestors woke up every morning knowing that something was watching them, something that did not make a sound, something that could come from any direction, at any moment, day or night, in forest or grassland or cave entrance, something that could follow a group for days, picking off individuals one at a time, always at the edges, always in the dark, always in silence. Your ancestors could not outrun it. They could not outclimb it. A leopard is a better climber than any primate except the most agile gibbons. They could not even hear it coming. A leopard in full stalk produces almost no sound, and it did not need to risk an open fight. It simply waited until one of your ancestors was alone, or distracted, or asleep. This is the context in which the human brain was built. Every social instinct you have, the discomfort of being isolated, the anxiety of being watched, the deep unease of standing near the dark edge of a room, the way your attention snaps to any sudden movement in your peripheral vision. These are not modern neuroses. They are adaptations. They are the behavioral residue of a predation pressure so sustained, so lethal, and so specific that it rewired the architecture of the primate brain. Primatologist Dorothy Cheney and her colleague Robert Seafarth spent years studying vervet monkeys in Africa, and their research revealed something remarkable. Vervet monkeys produce distinct alarm calls for different predators. There is a specific call for eagles, a specific call for snakes, and a specific call for leopards. The leopard call is the most urgent of all. When it sounds, every monkey in the group freezes, scans, and moves toward cover immediately. The call produces a fear response unlike any other. And here is what makes this extraordinary. The fear response is not learned. Young vervets who have never seen a leopard respond to the leopard alarm call with the same urgency as adults who have. The terror of the leopard is encoded. It is inherited. It is written into the nervous system before birth. We are not so different. The research of Arne Oman, which we have explored before, shows that humans detect images of big cats significantly faster than images of other threats, including modern dangers far more statistically likely to kill us. The processing happens below conscious awareness. Your visual cortex identifies the shape of a large cat and sends an alarm to the amygdala before you have consciously registered what you are seeing. Your body is already responding before your mind has formed a thought. This is not a vestigial quirk. It is a finely maintained early warning system for a predator that killed your ancestors for longer than agriculture has existed. But the leopard did not only shape your fear, it shaped your society. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has argued that the pressure of predation was one of the primary drivers of primate sociality. The larger the group, the harder it was for a leopard to isolate a target. Groups that stayed together, that watched each other's backs, that never left a vulnerable member alone at the edge of the forest, survived at higher rates. Groups that fragmented, that left members isolated, that failed to maintain proximity and vigilance, were picked off. Over hundreds of thousands of years, this selection pressure built the social brain. The anxiety you feel when excluded from a group, the deep discomfort of loneliness, the way human beings will endure almost any social pain in order to remain connected to others. These feelings were shaped in part by the leopard, by the cost of being alone at the edge of the dark. The leopard also shaped the way humans think about the night. Every human culture across every continent shares a near-universal fear of darkness. Darkness is when the leopard was most active. Darkness is when your ancestors could not see it coming. The invention of fire was not just about warmth and cooking. Fire was an anti-predator technology. The light pushed the darkness back. The darkness was where the leopard lived. Every campfire in human history was, at its core, a leopard deterrent. The leopard is now locally extinct across much of its original range. The predation pressure that shaped your nervous system for 2 million years has largely disappeared. And yet, the system it built remains. The prickling at the back of your neck in the dark. The snap of attention toward movement at the edge of your vision. The deep animal comfort of sitting with your back to a wall and your face toward the open room. You are still running the leopard protocol. You run it every night when you check the locks. You run it every time you feel the unease of an empty parking lot at midnight. You run it when a shadow moves wrong at the edge of your vision, and your heart rate doubles before you have time to think. The leopard is gone, but it left something behind. It left you.